term in Scientology that is used to describe, or was used to describe, the taking care of, and that's the euphemistic term, threats and enemies of Scientology. What it really is a series of writings and policies, directives by L. Ron Hubbard that lay out how you go about destroying someone who is an enemy of Scientology.
Listen to Scientology Fair Game on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the Freaking Idiot Podcast.
Podcasts are having a moment.
Everybody has a podcast, right? Every celebrity, everybody you knew in college, every family member has once. There are literally hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. So I figured, what the heck? What's one more? I'm Nick Block, and my new show, Serve the Pod, will give you the most interesting and important stories in podcasting. We'll talk to producers, entertainers, and journalists. We'll talk to bigwigs, and we'll talk to independent creators. Serve the Pod will give you a sense of what's happening in a growing world of podcasts, and more importantly, why you should care. Listen to Serve the Pod on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So Chuck, before we talk categories, I have to pop one more thing in about the Coriolis. It's important. You ready?
Sure.
So that lowest pressure center, what's called the eye, that is actually it's the clearest part of the hurricane. Sometimes it's clear skies, beautiful, eerily calm, and the reason why is because of that Coriolis effect. The lowest pressure center is never overwhelmed by the higher pressure air that's trying to get in. The whole reason that hurricane spins around the center is because all that wind from sometimes hundreds of miles away is traveling to that center, trying to fill it. But the Coriolis effect deflects it. They end up going around that center, the winds, and then up, so lifting more warm air up. And they never make it to that middle, which is what causes that. And the stronger the winds, meaning the stronger the pressure gradient between the center of the hurricane and the outer bands beyond the eye wall, the stronger the difference between that gradient, the stronger the hurricane's going to be, because the stronger the winds are going to be trying to fill that low pressure void. That's what causes hurricanes to spin around, clockwise or counterclockwise. That is absolutely fascinating.
It's very cool. Just go. Calmest place in the world.
Really?
Although it's counterintuitive.
It is.
So these categories, category 1, and this is all broken down in very sort of, I mean, it's pretty stiff as far as how they categorize these things.
Right.
It's not willy-nilly. They don't say like, this is pretty bad, I think it's a 2. They actually measure things, and there are demarcation lines by, usually wind speeds is one of the big parts.
Yeah.
74 to 95 miles per hour is the category 1, and that's going to, you could blow a tree branch into your roof.
Sure.
Or get some shingles shuttering.
You might have to get out the pruners.
Category 2 is 96 to 110 miles per hour. That's getting pretty dangerous, and you're going to get some pretty extensive damage at this point. Like, the siding of your house, the frame of your house. Shallow trees can be snapped or uprooted at this point. Probably going to get some power loss.
Right.
Number 3 is a major hurricane. Category 3 is at 111 to 129 miles an hour. And they rank this as devastating damage. Mm-hmm. And lots of trees uprooted. You definitely will lose probably power and water for a period of time for the category 3. And then you've got your category 4, which is 130 to 156. Category 5 is 157 or higher. You're probably not going to see many Cat 5s, but the Cat 4 is pretty catastrophic. And those are the ones that we've seen more and more of in more recent years.
Right.
Category 5s are just, that's extreme catastrophe.
They're monsters.
Monsters.
So category 4 and 5, there's not a tremendous amount of difference. They're both, like you said, considered catastrophic damage-causing hurricanes. But I get the impression that the difference between 4 and 5 in real life is substantial. But either way, they're going to leave so many trees and power lines down that whatever area gets hit substantially by one of those category 4 or 5s are going to basically be isolated, both without power, but also the roads are going to be made impassable. And sometimes you can be stuck in the midst of this for weeks.